Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Midori's Midnight Sessions. Good evening, everyone. Your girl is back, and not as good as ever. uh, because there has just been a lot of decisions that I had to make, as you've already heard in our previous episodes. But one more thing. Um, Ever since the news came to me, I decided to deactivate, like just completely go radio silent. And it's because I really don't want to I really don't want to look back, because I know if I look back on the messages, I would probably feel a lot of emotions. Like, I would be definitely sentimental, and it's something I was trying to avoid the whole time. And as you saw in the previous episode, I like my emotions got the better of me. So there's that. And one more decision that I had to make was to resign. And I know it's gonna be heavy, but I just know for a fact that I have done everything I could do, and it's still not enough for people. And I really hate that. Like, I guess I seek validation from these people, but knowing the fact that in that organization I was an officer, yet the responsibility in which I decidedly took, like, I took it of my own accord. I'm not even doing it. Like, I just feel borderline worthless. And that is such like a hard slap to my face, because I have been taking the position really seriously. I show up every time we have something up. Every time we record, I show up. Even if I have class, I always try to make sure that, oh, you know how to do this, right? I'll leave it up to you. And then I check up on them later, and tell, like, ask them how did it go. And our very own advisor just took it, I guess, because his friends are there. And I was just like seriously disgusted, because that was my responsibility, yet what am I even doing? Like, it just it just felt like I was there for show, when I was taking this very, very, very seriously. And people know that. I take my role very seriously, Yet, I'm not the one who's being asked to fix. Like, it's such a technical aspect as well. I know a thing or two about it. It's something that I could have easily fixed. And, I have wanted to resign for quite some time now. It was the moment our second advisor was announced to become our advisor. I just knew that this is not gonna turn out great. But I decided like, yeah, maybe we should give him one more chance, see if he could prove himself, and a chance was given, and he wasted it. So yeah, it's unfortunate that it had to end like this. I was just not going to tolerate any more disrespect. I feel like I'm being sidelined. I would be fine with it if I was just a member, you know? If I was if I didn't have a position, I would have been fine with staying cuz I don't really care much. But I was an officer, so that made things a whole lot worse than you know I could have imagined because it wasn't in my plan. I was like thinking, oh, maybe I could stay for a little while longer, but just it just hurts that I like my peers know that I always show up even if I don't have much to do with the broadcast nonetheless, but I still show up because that's my responsibility, that's my job as an officer. And I felt like that responsibility is not being placed importance. It's not important enough. And that hurts as an officer because I take my job very seriously. I just don't really like to talk about things. Um, I just don't like to talk about things in front of their faces. It's just that it's hard to give a chance to people who have wasted their second chance. I have given him so many chances, but time and time and time again, he has proved me wrong. The thesis is one example. And you know what happened on that thesis? He ditched me, right? I was hoping I could get a chance to talk to him, but he wasn't willing. And I took it, accepted it. And then this happens, and I thought, oh yeah, maybe I could give him a second chance, but no. It's sad that it had to end like this, and my thesis advisor slash our advisor in the club doesn't even know that I already resigned. It's such a heavy decision to make. Like, a lot of the decisions that I had to make this year were really hard. This is just one of them. What more with our narrative and thesis, my own thesis, which I haven't continued in quite some time because, of the previous episodes, like the events that I described on the previous episodes. It was hard for me to even continue, because what would I even do? How can I continue? I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't have anyone to share my achievements to. And it hurts a lot, cause the major milestones that happen in my the major milestones that happened in the past year, he witnessed everything. And I saw him earlier. I left him some chocolates, because you know Valentine's Day is next week. But you know, I didn't even say anything. I didn't even glance, just nothing. And I left. And you know, it's so hard. I just think to myself, are we even friends? When I asked him about my narrative report, because I was having problems with it, I looked into his eyes and I don't know, like, it was an entirely different person. And it's so hard. You can't see your own best friend the same way anymore, because like, he's just an entirely different guy now. He's not the best friend that you used to talk to, you used to goof around with, you used to give advice to, you used to hype up. It just feels like staring into a soulless void. It's just a void of nothing. And that is just so sad to see, because that was once your best friend, and now he's just another person to you. And you still, you know, he means a lot to you. And I didn't want to like give him up. I wanted him to stay. I wanted him to stay so bad. I wanted to be like still friends with him. But I'm just like staring into an empty soul without I don't even know if the guy that I used to talk to is still there. That's why I really didn't want to go back to school, because it just hurts so much. And as I said before, you're just there to pick up the pieces. You're just there to, you know, be left with the mess. Like, you need to pick up yourself, get yourself together, but I don't know. It's indescribable. It's such an indescribable feeling. Like, I remember when I blocked him, I still didn't know how to deactivate my Facebook account. So I just blocked him. And honestly, I didn't really want to block him, but I had to block him because otherwise I would still be there. Like, I would still pop up on his messages. I would still say random stuff. Like, I would just go on a ramble about everything. Like, all the random stuff. I would go on for hours talking about it. And earlier they were looking at me. I just knocked on the door and left the chocolates at his table and then immediately left. Because I know otherwise I wouldn't be able to contain my emotions. Because I'm that sentimental of a person and he means a lot to me. Like, I was saying this to him before. I quote, you and him are different. You two are different. If one gave me courage, the other, you gave me safety to express myself, safety to be vulnerable, the safety of becoming who I truly am. And I still think about it to this day. And oh, no. He's still my best friend. That's still my best friend. I can't just let him slip away my fingers that easily. And I remember, like, he was asking about one of my friends, and he said, and I said, like, oh, she's busy. We haven't talked much. And he was like, oh, I guess I'm the only one you practically talk to now. And it's hard being a lonely person. Like, you're just there. Like, you want friends, but you don't have friends. Like, you don't have anyone to talk to after school. You don't have anyone that would invite you to parties, like their birthdays, or just hanging out after school. You don't have that. I've gotten used to being lonely. I've gotten used. But just when I thought I have a friend that I would really, really, really want to stay, and then he decides to let go. And he keeps saying to me, we're still friends, but I don't know where he went. I question myself, are we still really friends? Because I do not know the guy that I talked to before. I don't know who the guy that I keep peeking on is. It's like seeing a hollow shell. It's like the soul has been devoid of ever existing. And like, I just think I don't know him. Who is he? Is he really the one that said we are still friends? Is he the one that said, you can dump everything here, I'll read everything? And I think to myself, does he? It feels like I'm shouting out to the void. Ever since like the year began, I sent him a lot of emails, and I just think to myself, has he read them all? And I just think like probably not. He's too busy. Like he would probably be too busy to even bother. And I can't. I really do care for him, but it just feels like I do not know the guy that I'm talking to anymore, and I wish like the the best friend that I used to hang out with, would be back. And he's probably gonna tell me like, "Oh, he was there all along." But no. That was an entirely different person. Who was that? That was you? No way. Like, it would make you think like that. I keep telling people like how important he is to my life. And that I just see him as a friend. That's it. Like, I really hate the people that put malice into the friendship. Because we're just friends, and that is all. Like, I really hate the fact that people see us as a couple when we're not. We're contented on our own respective relationships. So I had to do it. It was such a heavy decision to make that I still find myself logging into my Facebook account and reading the past conversations, thinking that he is probably gonna come back. He's still going to be the friend that I used to hang out with, used to chat all the time, used to know all my major milestones. I just don't know the guy anymore. And I just think to myself, why am I still hoping for something that's not going to happen? I am such an optimistic person. Like, people say, I am an optimistic person. But this is just something that, I could not find myself to aspire to, it's just something that I could not think would happen anytime soon. And I wish I was kidding. But, it's really hard to come to terms with it. And I'm trying. And, it's hard that we still have to make a lot of decisions that will really, really hurt us. Like, in the end, we still have to let go of the things that I guess no longer serves us. And I don't know if they're still going to be there, if they're still gonna stand at the same place, walk with us the entire time, but I mean, they were there for a time. And it was such a meaningful, fun, fulfilling time that I had. And that concludes today's episode of Midori's Midnight Sessions. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.